Hey, welcome to the Drayway. I'm glad you're here. Hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You guys have been helping me out. My channel's starting to grow, and it's all because of you, and I can't thank you enough. But we have a great show, so let's get started. Let's go! Hey, welcome to the Drayway. Man, I'll tell you what, we got to talk about, I can think about what we have to talk about. I can give you 4 trillion things we have to talk about. $4 trillion gone. $4 trillion is gone. That's right. The markets have been caving. They've been caving because Donald Trump is a complete disaster. Yes, Donald Trump is bad for markets because of chaos, because of tariffs. Tariffs don't work. Tariffs, the way that a blanket tariff across, let me give you a perfect example. Let me give you a perfect example. Donald Trump is doing this tariff on steel and aluminum, so that we can bring, I guess, more aluminum manufacturing back to the United States. Do you have any idea what is involved in bringing aluminum, an aluminum company back to the United States to actually produce aluminum? Do you have any idea how much energy it would take to put in an aluminum plant to produce aluminum? The amount of energy is staggering. And it's not just like you can just tie in somewhere and get all that energy. The current grid couldn't even support it, even if an aluminum company wanted to go to Lima, Ohio and open a plant. There's just not enough electricity to be had. And that's another thing, I don't want to get off on a tangent because I'm talking about the markets right now. But what are we doing with our electrical grid? Why are we not spending billions and billions of dollars right now to start updating our electrical grid? Why aren't we doing that? Because certainly we know AI takes a ton of energy for AI. But what also takes a ton of energy is manufacturing. So why are we talking about, we're going to bring back manufacturing to the United States? We're going to bring it back. It's going to come back. How? It takes energy. From where? Where are we going to get this energy from? Our grid is maxed out. It's not like we can just all of a sudden produce billions more megawatts on a click of a finger. It doesn't work that way. And I don't understand. Tell me what we're doing to make our grid better. What legislation have you seen passed? What legislation do you see being passed right now for anything? I don't see the Republican House and Republican Senate doing jack diddly squat. What I see is a president just signing a bunch of executive orders that don't mean squat, because all those executive orders can be erased when the next president takes office. They can all, and they will be. Believe me when I tell you they will be. So in the meantime, the stock market, because of all the chaos, has lost $4 trillion. Have you checked out your 401k lately? Why don't you check it out? Because Donald Trump has been a complete and total disaster for the stock market. And as long as we keep playing these ridiculous tariff games, especially, let me ask you one more question, a separate question. Who's going to continue to buy our debt? Certainly, I can think, if you're attacking me on tariffs, do you think, Mexico, Canada, the European Union, who is going to start buying our debt? Who's going to keep buying it? If people don't buy our debt, do you have any idea about how much trouble we're in? You talk about a collapse. If countries stop buying our debt, trust me when I tell you, you're not prepared for that. None of us are prepared for that. because that's a catastrophe in the making. But, I mean, could it happen? Yeah. Countries could just say, you know what, F you, Donald Trump. We're not going to buy your debt. Now what are you going to do? Instead of buying your debt, you know what we'll do? We'll buy gold. We'll buy gold instead of putting, billions and trillions of dollars into your debt that you just keep growing and growing and growing. And everybody already knows we ain't paying this debt back. We're now approaching $40 trillion with more debt that has to get refinanced. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Let me know what you think in the comments. Welcome to the Drayway. I didn't mean to start off this way, but I mean, let's face facts. Donald Trump crashing this market right now and the loss of $4 trillion is a really big deal. It's a big deal because it hits us all. And I have a feeling it's only going to get worse. And I want to know what you guys think. Thanks for joining me on the Drayway. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We have a lot more to talk about. Stay right there. Chuck Schumer, I wish you would just resign. Just resign. Please just resign, Chuck Schumer. Because, you talk a good game, fight, and you don't understand. It's a lot worse if the country goes, shuts down. It's a lot worse? Passing this bill. Showing once again that you're a coward and that you can't stand up to tyranny. And that's regardless of the outcome. Sometimes you have to stand up and say, no, enough's enough. No. And Mr. Schumer, you do not have that integrity. You do not have that toughness. You don't have any of it because you're letting down millions and millions of people across the country. You let us all down. And you said you were going to fight. You said you were not going to vote for this ridiculous, horrific spending bill. And here you go and do it. And it's going to adversely affect millions and millions of people, and you voted for it. You can say, oh, I had no choice. No, you had a choice. You had a choice to say no. You had a choice to say, doesn't matter the ramifications. I cannot, in good conscience, vote for this. I can't do it. The country will have to shut down. It's run by Republicans. Let them figure it out. They can't keep us from the table and then want us to vote for something when we're not allowed at the table. It's called having some integrity, Chuck Schumer. And you have none. And believe me, if I had a vote in New York, I would never, ever, ever vote for you again for anything. You couldn't win dog catcher if I had the vote. I would never pull the lever for you again because you just don't have a backbone. You just don't have the integrity to say, no, we weren't allowed at the table, so no, we can't support this in any way, shape, fashion, or form. The Republican president, the Republican House, the Republican Senate is going to have to figure it out. And you figure it out by bringing us back to the table, or it will not pass again. And nothing will pass until you bring us to the table. Period. End of story. And you know what? Americans around the country would have come behind you and supported you 1,000%. But you know what they're not going to support is a coward. That's what they're not going to support. And you, sir, have shown yourself to be a complete and total coward. Because this was your time as a man to step up and be like, no matter how bad it is, this is not right. I can't do this. I can't do this to millions of Americans that want somebody, anybody, to stand up and say no. That, Mr. Schumer, is what you don't understand. Millions of people just want someone to stand up and say no. And even you, the opposition party, the so-called leader. By the way, I would strip you of your leadership tomorrow. You would not be called leader of anything because I wouldn't follow you across the street. Not across the street. Let me know what you guys think. You can tell I'm sick to my stomach, and I think Chuck Schumer should resign. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be back in a minute. Hey, spring break is here. Spring break is here, and yeah, that means warmer weather is coming, and that means good times with your family. And I want you to focus on that. I want you to think about that this year, about spending time with your family and having a good time. That's what spring and summer is all about. And you got to take some time out from your regular routine and spend it with the people that you love, because those people will not be with you forever. They won't. And so many times we look back and we go, man, that was a good time. Just make sure you're not, with your loved ones, you're not leaving anything unsaid. Don't leave anything unsaid. Say what you need to say and let people know you appreciate them. I have to remind myself to do that. And from time to time, that's exactly what I focus on. I'm like, who can I contact today to let them know and thank them for being in my life and being a true friend? And yeah, I actually do that sometimes. I try to do it more now that as I get older, and the people that have been in my life for so long, I try to make it a point to thank them. Thank you for being a part of my life. Because let me tell you something, your life is enhanced by the number of people in it. Your life is enhanced by the number of people in it. And so often as we get older, our circle sometimes shrinks, and you don't want that. You don't want that. But certainly when it does happen, it makes you appreciate the people that are in your life even more, or at least it should. So please, think about it. Take some time this weekend to thank the people in your life, to thank those people, especially those that love you. Wow. Sometimes we forget what a special gift that is. Someone loves you. Yeah, that's as good as it gets. Thank you for joining me on the Drayway. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry I got upset earlier, but yeah, if you mention the name Chuck Schumer right now, it's going to make me mad. But I hope you have an absolutely wonderful spring break. I'm going to be spending as much time with my father, my mother, and my son as humanly possible. Next week, I might throw a date in there. Maybe. If I do, I'll let you know. I have someone in mind, but I got to ask her first. I'll let you know if she says yes. Thanks for joining me on the Drayway. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget, tomorrow, another Drayway. I'll see you here. Be good, right here on the Drayway.